In the third video, we're going to send the mic to the monitors. It's going to the mains right now and the subwoofer. I'm going to mute it here so it's no longer going to the mains and subs so I can just hear the monitor. I'm leaving the fader up though so it's ready for the rest of the steps in my practical exam. I certainly don't want to mute it at the channel layer. To get to the monitors, let's go in order of signal flow. I'm going to select the left side of the desk, select the inputs. I'm going to find the mix 1. I'm going to switch from 1724 here to mix 1 through 16. I'm going to select mix number 1, pressing that knob. Pops up. I'm going to make them all pre. This is the number one mistake in the practical exam. You want to make your monitor mix pre-fader. Finding the mix master over down here, you want to be on the mix 1 through 8 on the outputs. We're going to turn it up to unity. We're going to turn it up. Next thing in the signal flow is the graphic exam. I like that. Graphic EQ rack. We're going to put the graphic EQ right here. So that's going to be mix 1 across the graphic. It's going to do both my ins and my outs in one setting. And now we're going to route the outputs. So I've still selected mix 1. I can just home key, find my output patch, and I'm going to set that to Omni Out 1. So I can't see it. So I've got to find Omni Out 1. At this point, I'm pretty confident. I actually have not heard this yet, so let's see how we do. Selecting back to the channels. I'm going to go into Sends on Fader. That's a requirement in the exam that you use Sends on Fader. And you can select your mixes here. You can also do it on your outputs down here. This will also select between mixes. If you double tap, it will cue, which sends it to your cue wedge, which we have not set up yet. And now we're looking at our mix sends over here. And you can zoom in here and see that some of the channels are dark and some of the channels are light. The dark ones are muted on the main layer. Since I'm not muted, it's open. That's a mistake people often make. I'm hoping now that I turn this up and I can hear it on the stage wedge. And one troubleshooting problem, you got to make sure your Omni 1 out is patched to the amplifier input. But on the amplifier itself, and the amp may look different on your practical exam, but you got to make sure amp 1 is actually on and up. We typically do about noon o'clock, 12 o'clock here. I've got it a little lower because I don't want feedback in this booth. And I'm also going to use the second side of the amp for the cue wedge, so it's up right now as well. Cool.